Today I'm going to be showing you how we spring clean our Airbnb. We do this about every 1 to 3 months, depending on how many guests we've had at the home. And first, I start out in the king bedroom because, to be honest, this room takes me the longest to clean. I don't know what it is. These sheets were already clean, so I'm just going to take them off and put them aside. Then I will take off the mattress cover. I wash this every couple guests. It's waterproof. It's amazing. We got it, I think it's Tuft & Needle. And then the bed panties, of course, which I believe we got at TJ Maxx. It's just like a really thin box spring cover. The box spring is gray, which you see here, and it's very heavy duty, but it needs to be covered. It obviously doesn't match the decor, so we use the bed panties. While I wait on my sheets, I'm just going to start dusting. I dust the cacti, I dust the inside of the lamps, the outside of the lamps, the AC unit. I dust the smoke detector, I dust inside the closet. I do above the doors and up in the corners of the room because spider webs just kind of dangle there sometimes and dust collects. Then I remove the rug and I clean underneath that, and I'll just sweep and vacuum that up. And I am pulling the bed away from the wall, and I'm getting just the baseboards and any kind of fluff that has been hanging back behind here. I will vacuum and also dust. And then I will Swiffer it. I will spare you another bedroom full clean, but we do the same thing in the queen room. We take the mattress cover and we clean that and get behind the bed. And something we don't do in the king room, we have this guitar in here and our internet in here. So this box right here is handmade, custom for our internet cable box. And it gets pretty dusty under here. We clean this once every 3 to 4 months. And there's a bunch of dust bunnies, so I vacuum that out, and then I clean off the guitar and disinfect it because a lot of people play this. Michael changes the strings and he tunes it every few months, just like he does the piano. And I will also clean off the books in this room. I'll get all of the blankets in the house that are able to be washed. These are wool, so I don't wash these. I just roller brush them and spot clean them if need be. These are super vintage, and we just want to make sure that we preserve these. So I roller brush these, shake them out, make them as clean as we can. With the saddle blankets, I do wash those because I believe they are polyester. And then I will just lay them out on the table and hang them to dry pretty much because I don't want them to get messed up. These are also vintage, whether they're polyester or not, so I just want to make sure they're nice and dry like this. Then I go into the bathroom. Since I'm doing laundry, I'll take the curtain off. I'll throw that in as well. And as you can see in our bathroom, we don't have a fan. We've got this Thermador heater, so people don't open the window in the bathroom, which you're supposed to when you shower. So I think I need to make a sign for that. But we'll get some little spots up on the ceiling from water. And I do this weird thing. I Swiffer the ceiling. And sometimes I Swiffer the walls, to be honest. And it seems to work. It seems to keep everything really clean in the bathroom. It may look really weird, and you may be like, girl, just put in a fan. We don't even have a vent that goes out of the attic. We've already checked. It's going to have to be its own project. We will check our smoke detectors once every 6 months to a year just to make sure they are still in working order and aren't expired because they do not have replaceable batteries. And we will also do that with our fire extinguisher, which I didn't show you footage of, but we do that too. Now that the winter season is over, I'm gonna do a deep clean on this fireplace. I get back behind there's dust that collects, and just vacuum it all out and clean it all off. People love to cook and play games at our house, so I always like to go through all of our games, make sure there's no pieces missing, clean off the tops, clean off the pieces, and make sure that everything is in order, and then I find things like this. Look at this spider, you guys. It's freaking huge. It just ran out from the games. This time of year, you gotta clean out things and make sure no bugs are coming in. We also found this little guy. No, thank you. Ugh. Ah. We sweep and vacuum under all of the rugs in the house, probably once a month to every other month, depending on, again, how many guests we have and how windy and how many storms we've had recently, because that all determines how much sand and dust gets in the house. So we kind of play it by ear seasonally, and this just helps keep everything really clean. And this helps the cleaners to just stay on top of what we deep clean. I make sure to dust off all of the lamps in the house and really get into the fine lines that maybe the cleaners don't get. And then I also clean off the cow skull because it collects dust as well, and I've found some critters living in it in the past. So I always make sure to dust the horns off and within the skull. I finish off the living room by going through our albums and dusting them off using a little bit of Myers spray and some water. And I kind of clean the ones off that maybe are sticky. People usually are eating and drinking while they're playing music in the house. So I just go and disinfect all of those. And I also do that with the books. I will go just kind of dust off the books and wipe off the front covers of them because people, they got grimy paws sometimes, so we want to clean all of those off. Give them a fresh slate going into summer. Other thing I like to do is go around and make sure the pampas is not breaking apart. And the way that you do this, because this is actually real pampas grass, so these can kind of break apart, and if they get hit, they start flying around. And the way that I combat that is I use a little bit of hairspray. I spray this probably every 6 months, and I'll take it into the cleaning closet to spray. This one's okay, so I'm not gonna do this one yet. Let's check on the other one. Seems like it's pretty good. These ones don't usually get hit very often. The one on the kitchen table does, but you just see how that's kind of falling. After all of that, I go dust. I dust every shelf in the closet. The girls are pretty great about this as well. I feel like I keep saying that, but it really is a team effort, and I want to shout them out when I can. I just do the dusting on top up here where this pampas is. It usually feels clean, but I just do it while I'm spring cleaning because I like that peace of mind. Our cleaners are really great with keeping the trash can clean, but sometimes the trash can inside the trash can, it's like the double trash can, the liner of the trash can start to smell after a while if you don't clean it out. So I always do this probably once every 2 months, to be honest. 3 months is a little too long to do this. I always clean out the inside of the can. I do Clorox, and I also do my vinegar spray, which works great. While we're at the house, we like to use every dish, glass, silverware, pan we can to make sure nothing is ruined, broken, needing replacing, and is just really deeply cleaned. While I'm in the kitchen, I will degrease the range hood because there's a lot of cooking going on, like I said, in the home, and there is a lot of oil that gets up in these little filters. So the cleaners kind of just wipe it off quickly. I really get in there and cut the grease with my vinegar spray, which works amazing. You can also use a stainless steel spray. It just doesn't work the same in my opinion. I really feel like the vinegar cuts the grease, so I like to use that on a microfiber towel. Then I wipe down the shelves. I take all of the mugs and glassware off of the floating shelves because this also gets a film on it. The oil settles on the shelves. And I just give them all a good clean too with the microfiber towel. The oven looked great this trip, so I did not touch it. The cleaners do a really good job at keeping track of that for me, but I do love cleaning the stovetop myself. I take it all apart and I get down in there. Sometimes I vacuum out the crumbs if there's any. It's usually really clean because I've gotten on the cleaners before about not taking care of it, so they've been really great about it. Then I move on to the cabinets and the drawers. There's splatter from food or people doing the dishes sometimes, so I take my magic eraser and I just wipe it down and make sure everything is nice and white. I will go underneath the sink and check to see if there is some Myers spray. I like to leave a full Myers spray for guests under there. That's just an all-purpose cleaner. I check the dish soap and the first aid kit just to make sure there are Band-Aids, etc., and mosquito repellent candles, and to make sure that our step stool isn't broken. Before we move to the bar room, we are going to be cleaning out our mini splits. Their filters get pretty dirty out here, so we clean these every 3 months. Sometimes if they're not super dirty, we'll just shake them outside and kind of smack them around. And Michael will go in with the vacuum and a duster, and we do this to all 3 of our mini splits, which we have 3 in the house.
The dirt just kind of comes right off. We let them dry, you know, for at least a good amount of time before we use them again, so that they are completely dry, but
For a couple hours, especially with the heat.
because if you don't clean this, even in your own home, like your own home, if you don't clean it, the AC starts to overwork to try and get the temperature down, and your energy bill goes up, and it'll bust your machine, and then you have to pay to have somebody out.
Or like overheat it.
We've learned that the hard way, haven't we?
We have.
Not here, but in a previous house.
Yeah.
Remember we were just cranking the AC and we didn't know what was going on?
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot.
And the air filter hadn't been changed in years. Our landlord was like, didn't know about it.
So this just really helps with the flow of air through the home, and it makes it work a lot better. Because the last thing you want is a guest complaining about the lack of airflow in the home, whether it's hot or cold.
Put them back.
Then we move on to the bar room. Michael helps me take down the Joss and Main pendant lamp, and I have to dust this baby because little bugs can get in there. It's so close to the ceiling, it's really hard to clean. I can dust the outside, but it's so delicate. So I take it off and do this about every 4 to 6 months. It stays pretty great. It doesn't look, you know, like it's super dirty. So I think I've done a decent job. It's about time for a clean. I just use vinegar and water to clean it, and I vacuum out all the little bugs and dust. Something we seem to forget about often is moving the piano, and that is probably because it is so heavy. But the 2 of us pull it out from the wall, and Michael gets back there and vacuums and dusts. The cleaners are great with this too, but we just want to get back behind this, and we pull up the rug and we sweep underneath it as well. And then we also do the windowsills, and then also magic erase the walls or clean off the walls if there's any scuff marks from shoes or luggage or whatever. And then we go through all of the bar glassware, because we don't just have glassware in the kitchen, we also have it in the bar room. And I just check the wine glasses and the beer mugs and every glass that's in here to make sure that everything's clean. There's no lipstick marks or anything like that. The cleaners try to do their best, but they're on a time crunch. So we get in here and we check. We check these pretty much every time we're actually here. But I figured I would include this in our spring cleaning because I did find some glasses that needed some touch-ups. Michael and I make it a priority to do the laundry when we're here because we like to make sure there aren't any stains or any holes in any towels that may need replacing. We're just being proactive, making sure we know what our inventory is like, and we're able to order something we may need so that it's here the next time the cleaners are here. Then I'll go through and start to put the house back together. I'll put the shower curtain back up, and I will remake the beds and get everything back in working order.
Very excited to do this. This has been a hot tub. And this have been things that I can't believe we're already here.
But also, why has it taken us so long?
Love this part, right? Planning, measuring, counting.
It's good I married you. You're good at it.
I don't like doing this stuff,
You're great at it.
but I have to.